attack today's local and national.
We're live.
No, it's all right. Yeah, we gonna be live. We live. It's all good. How's everybody doing? Hey, America. We live. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local and national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Let's Get It Live. We are here after the firing of Doug Peterson from the Philadelphia Eagles. The breaking news tonight is something that a lot of people, I think, were taken by surprise. I know I was. I know that after this season happened, Jeffrey Lurie sat down with Doug Peterson. They had an initial conversation. That went well. He went down to visit today in Florida to talk with Doug about what his plan was to make this team better. Apparently, from what I understand, what Doug said to him was not what he was looking for. And I think at the end of the day, this is coming with a lot of mixed emotions. I know a lot of people are happy that Doug Peterson's going. I know there are people that think that he should have stayed. Of course, being that's, in the playoffs. For the last 3 years, the first season they missed the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl with this team. But overall, I think that you're going to see more people happy than not happy about this decision. Before we get into it too much, Coach Marcus, what's your first initial thoughts, sir?
I was just surprised, man. Like I didn't think it was anything that was going to come down this quickly, and I didn't think that was going to be the first move to go. I think of the three things we thought were going to happen. I thought this was the last one that would have happened at this point.
Absolutely, and I know Jay's got his own thoughts, and I'll get into it. But what's your first initial reaction, Jay?
Oh, snap. I'm telling you, I was on a meeting. I was on a guidance meeting, and we're doing the parent conference, and I couldn't help but look at the text y'all sent. I was like, oh, snap. He was like, Mr. Bryce, everything okay? Everything all right? I said, yeah, but Doug Peterson just got fired.
Listen, I got woken up. I was taking a little nap today. I got woken up. I thought something serious. With what's going on in this world today,
right.
I was like, waiting for everything. I was like, we got to take cover. We got to do what? And it was Doug Peterson was fired.
Right.
And for a minute, I'm like, okay, oh, shit. That, and there's so many initial reactions. Look, first and foremost, you got to say thank you to Doug Peterson for what he did for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was part, but this is the first part. The man has success. The man has had success. He had a great run here, but this past season and every year since the Super Bowl run, the team has only gotten worse. This is the first season that they missed the playoffs, but thank you for what he did. But at the end of the day, before I even go on too much about Doug Peterson, how this impacts the team, nothing is going to be complete until Howie Roseman, the general manager, is gone. I don't understand how all this blame can fall on Doug Peterson when Howie Roseman has been the orchestrator of this team and the drafting and everything around him and has been horrendous. But yet Jeffrey Lurie speaks about Howie Roseman, with no problems at all, and talks about how he built this team, up. And it's just the disconnect that I'm seeing starts at the top with Jeffrey Lurie. Because when I was listening and watching the press conference today from Jeffrey Lurie, he spoke about Howie Roseman in such a way that it was just glorifying him. And I don't know how you can glorify him over the last few seasons and how poorly he drafted. Also, with Jeffrey Lurie, you just see the disconnect of leadership because he said, this is not because Doug deserved to be fired. That's not why we're here. Well, then why the hell are we here, Jeffrey? We are here because he was fired. And if he didn't deserve to be fired, he wouldn't have fired him. Now, there's a lot more going on, so, I have a lot more to get off my chest, but who wants to take the ball from here?
Listen. I'm not sure what you got to get off your chest right now, because I know you're celebratory right now. You're happy right now.
And that's okay. Because this team wasn't going to win anything else with Doug Peterson as the head coach.
And see, you know what? I'm going to say that. You know what? The karma that's going to come down to the Philly Eagles, I can't wait. Okay, the fact that you fired the man that brought you your own championship, your only one that let you be in Philly that day on a Friday, to be able to celebrate that victory, once in a lifetime thing. That man that brought that home to you guys, you got rid of him over one season. You know what? I was telling.
It's not one season.
No,
go ahead.
Wait a minute. Now I was telling somebody that during the summer, I say, listen. You know what? A lot of people talk about they loyal until it's time to be loyal. Then loyalty go out the door. What a loyalty for Doug Peterson with a man that brought you a Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying? This came down to either Carson or Doug. They looked at what they were paying Doug, when they were paying Carson.
No, it absolutely
And it
did.
was simple numbers, simple mathematics. You know what I'm saying? Like Doug, he went down to Florida, convinced him, blah. Listen, man, Doug knows his worth. I don't think Philly ever wins another championship. And you know what? You're gonna live to regret this day. January 11th, 2021. You will live to regret this day. The same way that you will live to regret it, the day that you got rid of Allen Iverson. But that might have been a long time coming, a little bit, somewhat, sorta. Okay, but then you got Charlie Manuel. You got rid of that Eagles.
Charlie was having unsuccessful seasons once he let go.
But he brought you a chip, though.
He did, but he brought you a chip 2008. Charlie's last season, if I'm not wrong, was 2014. So, I mean, and the last time he was in the playoffs was 2011. So it was 12, 13, 14 were tough seasons. So
right.
It's hard to compare that.
No, I mean to you. But I understand because the Eagles and the Philadelphia fan always is in a what have you done for me lately.
Absolutely.
I get you.
But all fan bases are. All fan bases are.
Well, not the New York fan base.
No, you are. Absolutely you are. Don't tell me you're not. Because the New York Yankees have 27 World Series titles. Or 28 now.
No, you tell me.
But either way. But now they are so frustrated with the way that this team has been ran.
Well, we're frustrated because we haven't
So don't tell me.
We haven't won a chip.
Don't tell me that you're not loyal because
we haven't won a chip though. That's the difference. But we don't say, oh, okay, well listen, get rid of Joe Torre because he's not winning a chip, or we even stayed with Joe Girardi bum ass for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like there's loyalty that people that have brought you things. I mean, think about it. You bring a city that was thirsty for a ring. You bring it to them. You deliver it. Even after your golden boy Carson goes down, and you still got Nicky Foles to step right in and got him, didn't lose a beat. And you mean to tell me the people that brought the Super Bowl, you got their asses out, but the one that broke down like Glass Joe, he's still here? Think about it. That's what I'm saying. Just think about it.
You can't. Here's the thing, and Coach, I know you got a lot, so I'll let you go.
No, I mean I think it's definitely a money move, but at the same time, I think this is what puts organizations like the Eagles in bad situations. Because, and we've talked about it before, when you make moves based off of things other than the quality of your role or whatever quality of the work you're doing, that's when you start getting in trouble. And I think that's what was done here.
I agree.
I think of the three people that we've talked about that needed to move on in Howie, Doug Peterson, and Carson, I think, in my opinion, Doug was third on the list.
I agree with you.
So I think this is the easy way out. This is like when a team's not doing well, let's fire the offensive coordinator. Like it's easy. It's the easy thing to do. And I don't think I don't know who comes in. I haven't even gotten that far. Like I don't even know who's a possibility to come in here. But there are so many problems in this organization that Doug, and I don't think Doug was in the top 5 of the problems. So I think this is just an easy way out by Jeffrey Lurie. And I think, I'm not going to say the karma and all that, but I think it's going to come back to bite us in the fact that we're still going to have these two things that are going to be looming over us in Carson and Howie that aren't what they need to be.
No, absolutely.
You think about in Chip, not to cut you, bro. You think about in Chip we trust, right?
Okay.
So it was like, no, but I'm saying, but you say that now, but when he first came, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, Chip Kelly. And you know what I'm saying? And slowly but surely, you saw, okay, wait a minute, you know what? Damn, get rid of Andy Reid. Get rid of him. Bring in Chip. He's a better this, he's better that. And that, I think it was the first season. I'm not sure if you guys did it okay or whatever.
No, we did.
The first season, right? And it
We
was
did.
like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah. But slowly but surely, it was like, yo, you know what? What the hell did we do?
I mean, if you ask me this,
What did we do?
at the end of the day, like I said, I'm surprised that this happened, but to be honest, like I said, and I just think that I really, at the end of the day, too, I think Doug Peterson didn't want to be here anymore. So I don't think that he's even that upset about the fact that he got fired. And I know he's going to have other opportunities. I mean, people were talking already about the New York Jets. Joe Douglas is the GM there. He might go up there. They can, see what happens.
I like it.
But the thing is, too, even today after he put out a statement and said, I'm at peace. If coaches don't say, I'm at peace, unless it was something they didn't want to be at.
That's not true. I mean, when you're at peace with something, you know that, hey, listen, you know what? I've done all I can. And they're not trying to hear what else I'm trying to say, so I'm done. Not that I'm done here. Just like, yo, you know what? You're not listening. You're not listening. You think Carson, this is between him and Carson.
Well, that's what it is.
That's why he
think
said he's
the
at
end-
peace,
the
because
end
you're gonna see what
Yeah.
Carson's all about.
At the end of the day, Jeffrey Lurie is a Carson guy, and it's been through and through
Sure.
that he loved Carson, he gave the money, and whatnot. But it's interesting because, people talk about Carson and not being able to trade him. If they really wanted to trade him, like I said, if they got rid of him this year, they'd be on the books for the $30 million this year. So you kind of take this year, you don't say you chalk it up to a failure, but then 2022 they have $80 million in salary cap space. So yeah, you got rid of him, you'd have to eat this 1 year. But if you don't think he's the answer, then you could just say, I'm going to sacrifice this 1 year and move forward. But I think a lot of Eagles fans still think Carson is the answer. And the other problem is Eagles fans will tell you this, and I'm going to say this then, until we have a different GM who is the one evaluating talent, the one who's putting the players around for these coaches, I don't think this team can succeed.
I mean, I agree with that. But at the same point, they succeeded with him as the GM before. So it's possible, but I agree. I don't think there's too many holes to fill. And I think the thing I see as the problem is that now you're going to have Howie, who's going to be part of the process of bringing in another coach. So now, when this coach, whoever it is, if he doesn't succeed, do we just get rid of this coach again, or is this tied to Howie? Like, when does it get tied to Howie? When does it get tied to Howie? So also, if this coach might be the right coach, but if Carson does the same things he did with Doug, now what? Like, so there's too many other problems, that I don't know how we come through, to figure out what the right
And
solution
if I
is.
could add to that, I mean, what do you do? I mean, think about when, I mean, how do you think Carson's feeling right now? He's feeling like,
Well, if he would have responded to
Oh,
my
he's got that
inbox, I couldn't ask him.
he's feeling like, yo, I'm that dude.
He is.
And what are the other Eagles saying? Because listen, you could say whatever the a lot of Eagle fans are saying they want Carson, this and that. You could say whatever that. But I could tell you like this. The locker room was showing they want Hurts. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you right now.
You could tell.
They were. And
So-
the Eagles were a different team
A different
when
team.
Jalen Hurts was out
Right.
there. They were.
So I mean, listen. I
Now,
just
at the end of the day, though, people got to remember. And again, I'm saying it from what it is. When you look at Carson and you look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a couple of good games, but I don't know if he's necessarily saying, okay, you are the answer, because people are saying, oh, Jalen Hurts can get a number 1 pick, blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm not knocking the guy. I think he has talent, but I still think you need a little bigger, layout of what he could really be.
Oh yeah, I agree with
So,
that. I agree with that. And I think a
But
quarterback
my other
competition, though. I think
that's the thing. My thing is this too, is that, I still think going into next year, you have to look and say, listen, Carson, you got to earn this spot. You have a guy, Jalen Hurts, who's come in, who's shown that he can have leadership, who's shown that he can bring you some wins. I think it's an open competition.
But I think when you get rid of Doug, that
Right,
takes,
that's out
that
the
takes
door.
all that out the
It's out
window.
the
Now
door.
you can say
Well, yeah,
it,
you can
and
say it,
I
but
think
you're right.
most coaches will say that, coming into a new situation. I think the majority of the coaches are going to say that. But Carson and to Jay's point, when you fire Doug Peterson, like that's showing like the kid in the room that he's stronger.
He's
than
a
the
stronger
teacher.
dude, right? I mean, you know what? It kind of reminds, not the same similar situation, but if you think about, like, just real quick, if you flash back to like when Iverson was Mo Cheeks' coach, Mo Cheeks was the coach, right? And I say, yo, listen, something's wrong with you if you have a problem with Mo Cheeks. But then down the line, it was like, yo, we gotta get rid of Mo Cheeks. And then Mo Cheeks got fired. You know what I'm saying? Because it was Iverson. It's the same thing, man. Like, yo, listen, when you start playing that game, yo, it's a bad thing. Because here's all the players. All the players are like, yo, Carson's the one that got the biggest kahunas in the room. He's the dude. He's that main dude like that. Damn, like he removed the coach. All the other
He
players,
did, and
all the other players is like, yo.
And what you need to do
that's
now-
that's whack. They're gonna start feeling some type of way about Carson even more now.
Well, let me tell you, if Carson doesn't realize too, Carson was saying, because when it comes to pressure and everyone being on his back, whether he realizes, and I hope he does, since you got what you wanted with Doug being gone, you better step up, and you better play the way that we saw you play, because if you were in the room with Jeffrey Lurie and you were basically saying it's Doug or me, you better show that they made the right decision. Because if he comes out next year and he struggles with a new coach and he struggles with a new offense, man, you better be ready to hear it some more.
Oh man, I can't wait for that.
But just like, is that going to happen? Meaning, are we actually going to hear it? Is he actually going to hear it, or is it going to be like, oh, coach got to put him in better situations?
Right.
The only thing you can say then,
play calling and this and that. You know what I'm saying?
But
It's
the thing is,
excuses.
at the end of the day, though, too, at the end of the day, going back to some of the reasons for Doug, again, every time that he was successful, it was somebody else making the decisions. If we talk about the offensive play calling, we had Frank Reich. Frank Reich was the play caller then. He was there. You had so many more leaders on this team vocally when you had Malcolm Jenkins, when you had guys like Chris Long who helped lead up to the Super Bowl.
But that wasn't his job. He got rid of them.
No, but here's what I'm saying is, yes, he was the head coach, but the people around him were so much better, which again falls on a guy like Howie Roseman, who helps the coaches, puts them around him. You know, that's the thing.
But who left last year? Frank Wright
left
last year?
Frankly, it was two years ago.
So 2 years ago, okay.
Right.
So, but they made the playoffs last year. They made a push last year. They had decent little. It wasn't a successful season. They had a lot of injuries, whatever. They made a playoff push,
but
though, right?
it wasn't.
Okay, so who
From the 5-7 to where they were.
Who left last year? That's what I want to know. Who left last year?
No, last year I'd have to go back. Well, Malcolm Jenkins left.
Okay, that's Roseman. Who else left last year? Because Doug gets knocked on, oh, it's the people around him. What the hell you mean? Like, yo, come on, man, give that man some credit. Because you know what? He still coached last year, right?
He did coach, but the thing is that when you're talking about the successful seasons, you're talking about the season, you're talking about the Super Bowl run, and that's really where everyone always
It's been a
says.
steady decline since
And that's
then.
it's
And
been
it
a steady
has.
decline.
But Carson has been on a steady decline since then.
Yeah, he absolutely has.
That's what I'm saying. But yet nobody in the office, nobody in the fans is seeing. Wait a minute. The Eagles been on a steady decline, and so has Carson.
That's not
Wait
true.
a minute.
But
1 plus 1 equals 2.
No, but
I
that's
don't
not true
understand.
because I can tell you, and I can tell you from my own circle of friends who are diehard Eagles fans, people are starting to doubt Carson a lot more than you've ever seen. Like even in my conversation today, I had a buddy said, "Well, why are we not consider? Why can't Jalen Hurts be the next Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen? He's got a strong arm, he's got mobility." And, people want to make the argument that Carson Wentz is, you don't win in the league unless you have a thrower. But, no, you win with mobile quarterbacks now. And Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're still that, platform for those quarterbacks to succeed. But you're talking about the young guys and the guys who succeeded, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. That's like one of my buddies said, what makes you think Jalen Hurts couldn't be that? So you're starting to see a lot of people that never before were hard on Carson starting to question his abilities. So, that's the thing.
Carson is, you would hope, is on thin ice right now, and the pressure is on him. But I still don't think that, from what I saw this year with how poorly he played, if he comes out and plays poorly next year, it's still going to be Howie's fault, the people around him. He doesn't have any receivers. He doesn't have any weapons. I don't see those people changing. It's just like other people in the world that we've talked about before that are never going to change their minds about a certain topic. And I don't understand that. And I think that's where the Eagles right now are going to be in such a hole that they're gonna ride this and it's over. And you've seen, like we talk about Josh Allen. There were quarterbacks before they got to Josh Allen. Tyrod Taylor, whoever else. There were many quarterbacks, and then they found the guy. So you can't be afraid to find the guy.
Yeah.
If the guy you have isn't the guy.
Right.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I know that like Joe was watching when I said that he feels that Doug forced his way out, that he forced his firing. And that's why, which maybe is true.
Well, yeah, I like to know what does he mean by that.
That's what I asked Joe.
What do you mean by force his fire?
But that's kind of like what I was saying was that like earlier in this show was that what I was saying that I think Doug was at a point where he's like, you know what, you guys don't respect me. You don't realize what I've done. You're going to allow this guy to manipulate you and not give me the credit that I deserve. Okay. So that's why, like,
that's fair.
So that's what
fair.
I kind of don't. I kind of agree that it may have been that Doug might have been sitting there and Jeffrey might have said, "What do you want?" And Doug might have just said, "You know what? Unless I can go in here and have the control that I want," because like I said, he wanted to elevate Press Taylor up to the offensive coordinator. He wanted to do one of the quarterback quality assistant coaches up to quarterback's coach. So he wanted to make some moves. And he might have said to Jeffrey, "This is my plan to make the team better." And Laurie may have said that no. this is not what I'm okay with. So Doug might have said, you know what? If you ask me to come with you for a new plan to make this team better, if you don't like my plan, then maybe I'm not the guy for you.
Well, absolutely, especially if he's got, a little birdie Carson in his ear saying, no, that's not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I can't be successful that way.
On that point, like Randy, like what you talk about though, if he's talking about, and this is the same problem I have with the Sixers, if he's talking about, how are we gonna get better now? Meaning, Peterson and Laurie, and Peterson's main thing is I'm gonna promote all these guys from within. We were just 4-11. We should be getting rid of people, not bringing them up.
Right.
Just like when the Sixers were talking about who's gonna replace Brett Brown, and it was 2 guys that were on the staff before. I'm like, no, like get rid of it. Like no.
Good point.
You got to be bringing in guys that are going to elevate, not guys who failed or not failed already.
Right.
But
I mean, in a sense, it's. I mean, I hear that. I see that point of view. But sometimes putting other people that can have a specialty or got a skill in that area can be a little beneficial. I really think this season the real problem really was Carson. I mean, because even the last 3-4 games.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
What?
That the problem was Carson.
Oh.
I mean, I thought you were such a supporter of Carson.
Listen. The last was 3-4 games, right? The Eagles, I mean, they lost. What was the record? Like 1-3 or something like that, or whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
But they played better. Is that fair to say? They played better. So you heard the talk, but you didn't hear the volume like it was when Carson was playing.
But
and
there was
the
chirping.
ineptness and the
But
energy
at the end
that
of the
they
day,
were playing.
at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts really had one very good game. He had one very good game. He had other games. I mean, the team was livelier, and the team was competing better.
Why?
So, and again, that's when we go back to that in the locker room. Maybe Carson doesn't have a connection.
How about on the field, though? How about on the field?
I'm saying the locker room bleeds to the field. So,
Right, he played better in those games than Carson played all season.
Right,
Is that
but
fair?
at the end of the day, too, also remember, Doug wanted to be a play caller. Doug wanted to run. Doug wanted to do his thing. Doug got away from what made the Eagles successful so much during the season, the use of Miles Sanders, making Carson throw the ball 40, 50 times. So there was a lot of times that you can point out and say, Doug, you failed.
But why you saying he made Carson?
Apparently, all the reports are saying that Carson would be like, nah, I'm going to audible this shit. Now, let me quarterback this shit. I'm going to call what I want to call. Let me run what I want to run. He wasn't running his stuff. Why you saying that he made
And
Carson?
where did you get a report that said that Carson audible plays?
I mean, it's all in the papers. It's all in the
Wait, I don't
first
think
take.
I've ever read the
ESPN? Well, you got to read other papers
Yeah,
than
here's
what
the
you
thing,
read.
here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you,
I know what I'm reading.
I'm so sick and tired
I
of
know
guys
you are.
like Dan Orlovsky and all these no-name guys.
I don't know no name. They on TV. What you mean no
But
name? I ain't no
These
name.
guys want to come out to tell you what's going on inside the locker room, and all they want to do is just throw gasoline on a fire. So you know what? As much as I can say, like a guy like Malcolm Jenkins, a guy like Chris Long, those guys who were in the locker room, that I can respect. That I can say, okay, you know the pulse of the team. So that to me is okay. Like even like, and it's interesting though because like there were some guys and they appreciate it. You know, like I said, like Brandon Graham showed love to him. Zach Ertz showed love to Doug Peterson. And anybody who won a ring under Doug still has to say like we appreciate what you did for us. Like you were the head coach of our Super Bowl team. You know, but again, at the end of the day, this is not the answer to the Philadelphia Eagles at all. Like we were talking about, you still have such an uphill battle, and it all starts at the top. And another interesting point was made is Jeffrey Lurie meddling too much in the team? Sometimes owners aren't football guys.
Sure indeed.
You know, they just need to write the checks, let the football guys do the work.
True indeed. I just think that this was a battle. Laurie, everybody knew that, well, at least the reports, that I read in various spots. Okay, this is a question what I read. Show it.
I'm sorry. You're not right. You're not right. Someone coming at you. I mean, it's perspective.
No,
right?
absolutely.
Don't you always preach perspective?
That's right. That's right.
This is just somebody else's perspective.
But all the reports were saying that, it was always a battle between Laurie. Laurie was Carson. Carson.
Yes.
That was Carson's
Yeah.
boy. You know what I'm saying? So Lori had to come down to, it's either Carson or Doug. It was just that simple.
At the end of the day, it does. But again, this team, it's just so frustrating. Like, I don't know how Howie Roseman continues to have a job. Like, his ineptitude as far as evaluation of talent is just so glaringly poor. It's so poor. Like, I mean, it's just, and even like, someone asked him today in the press conference, how can you sit here and put all the blame on Doug when you have a general manager in Howie Roseman who has led this team into salary cap nightmares and also has not surrounded your team with players that could be there. And even Jeffrey Lurie's like, well, it's they were there. We thought otherwise. Like, stop. Like, admit when you're general manager, admit when your team makes mistakes. I would have, and I know he's not going to because he's still connected to Howie Roseman. But you're going to tell you what Doug didn't do. Put blame elsewhere.
What is the connection between Lurie and Rosen? Like what?
I don't know.
Does he
No,
got pictures of him or
he's got
something?
to. Something.
Yeah.
Something's going wrong because Howie Roseman just sits in the back with a smile on his face, knowing that he could draft me with a 6 overall pick.
But even
And
like
then-
when Chip Kelly was here, Chip Kelly cleaned house and they just put Howie in a different building until it was time to bring him back. Like that never happens.
Right.
No. And I mean, it's just a disconnect. Like I said, I mean, you have a team now that is in disarray. I mean, you look at it and you say, okay, so the other thing too is with this team, and people kind of look at it. So you have now the end of January, you're looking at mid-January, so you have January, February, March, April. You got about 2.5 months to find your coach, to prepare for the draft. And so it's like, and you're leaving that on a guy who's had a track record of having very poor decision making.
Well, here's the thing. Who's out there?
And I was gonna say I don't think people are gonna want to come here.
No one wants to come here right now.
And Coach Carson?
Well, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm saying because of Howie Roseman.
Oh, sure, okay.
Because especially if I'm a young up and coming coach,
Sure.
I'm not gonna come here and have this be my stop
But that's-
where I get
Right.
Right.
where I lose
right,
a bunch of games.
Right.
And
That's
that's
I'm
the
gonna
other
go somewhere
argument.
where I'm giving a shot.
Yeah, the other argument too is that people are talking about them wanting that you're only going to get young guys, first year guys. You're not going to get that experienced head coach that you need because the Eagles, if you still ask me, a guy like Howie, maybe Jeffrey Lurie, they want to have a guy that they can manipulate and say, this is what we're going to do, Coach John, Coach Jim, whoever it may be. The guys that are out there, this is not the situation to go to. I mean, you got openings left and right that are better. You got openings in Jacksonville. You got openings in. First of all, if I'm a coach, I want to go to San Diego because I want to play with Justin Herbert, the quarterback out there. And you're also going to San Diego. I mean, the Eagles, if you ask me, Philadelphia's got to be, the 3rd or 4th on the list
still in
of
San
teams.
Diego?
Was that? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Los Angeles. San Diego.
Oh, listen. Well, he left.
They left. Yeah, I don't know. I just hit me when you said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I I'm old school.
No,
man.
I'm with
He
you.
tell me that, my man live out there, man. Shout out Will Bailey. He tell me San Diego is like the perfect weather.
That's right.
Oh, it's amazing out there.
I've never been out there.
Oh, that's right.
I've been out there. It was a perfect week. It was
That's
like
what I said.
76, no
He
humidity.
says the
It was
perfect weather.
perfect. I mean, to me, I was like, oh,
Matter of fact, I think he told me they don't get no rain or something like that. They told me they don't get no rain.
I know it's very little. It's very little.
Very little, right?
I was out there. I was also out like in Orange County, the same type of thing. Like
Okay.
the weather is just because it's hot, but there's no humidity, so it's just beautiful sunshine.
Oh, wow.
But and here's the thing though, like this team, like it's not a destination you want to come to. It's 3rd or 4th on the list. You have a mess. Now my other question too is, and they don't realize, like Jalen Hurts went in, did his thing. Jalen Hurts maybe is on his rookie contract, right? But you could have a quarterback controversy. You could have Jalen Hurts that's sitting there making noise and bringing stuff up about Carson or what happens in the locker room. So you think you got rid of the problem, Philadelphia? This problem just started.
No, I mean, I don't see Hurts doing that. I mean, you're right though. That
No, I don't see him doing
Yeah,
that.
right.
I think he's a team guy,
Yeah.
and I mean, especially because of what he's been through.
We
in
know
college.
Carson might do that though. 'Cause
Well,
we know
he got his way.
We know his. Well, we also know his previous behavior though.
What?
So that when he wasn't playing well, and then he didn't take the bench.
No, he never
well.
did. He never did.
He didn't take it well.
And he never admitted to his faults. And
No,
he
you still
never
haven't.
did.
He said, you know what? It's this kind of way I kind of do things. This kind of way.
He said, "This is my way." Right.
It's the way we do things around
that,
here.
That is also, I think, one of the
He's
first
letting you
times.
know.
No, it is, but that's one of the first times that's one of the first times the Philadelphia fans looked at Carson like, "Wait a minute, like you're not perfect, dude. You need to get better."
No,
And,
man, yo,
you
it's
know-
sad though. Yo, listen, I'm telling you January 11th, 2021. That day, I'm gonna always remember that day. Cause that's the day that, you know what, you got rid of your Super Bowl hero. At least one of your Super Bowl heroes.
Correct.
Carson's not a Super Bowl hero. I knew you give him that title, he's not it.
He absolutely is, but okay.
Oh my God! It's like I don't understand. Like, yo, he was on the side. Yeah, he played a part the same way that people on the practice squad played a part.
No, but
That
they
he
did
played-
not. You
he
cannot
played-
even do that.
he-
That is
no,
such
I'm
a
saying
forward.
I'm saying that he played a bigger part, but
Yes.
he played a part.
Because again,
but again, wait a minute.
Go
I mean,
ahead.
listen,
Go ahead.
you have to attribute that to him and all of Alshon. And all the other people that was there too, okay? Because they played parts as well. But they were able to finish the season. So you know what?
Correct.
Carson played a part. But it ain't, he not like one of the main reasons why.
Do you realize the numbers that he's put up with some of the shittiest receivers around him?
In 2017 we talking about.
No, I'm just saying
No,
even
no.
plus
Let's
2017.
just focus on 2017.
And he was
when got
11-3, and they had home field advantage, which they never would have won anything without home
What
field
do you
advantage.
mean? Wait, first of all, listen. I mean, Pittsburgh had home field advantage. They asses lost. Correct or not correct? You know what I'm saying? Somebody else had home field advantage last night or the day before. They asses lost too. So just because you have home field, you can have the picture painted very nicely. Milwaukee Bucks does it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You got to still go in there and play the game. And if to me, Foles had a harder job. He played like 3-4 games regular season and then in the playoffs. He had a harder job than what Carson did. He's your real Super Bowl hero. He's your real Super Bowl hero.
To take away and not say that he didn't contribute.
I'm not saying that I never said he didn't contribute. I'm just saying that he's just a contributor. You've been saying that he's one of the main reasons.
Yes, and I will to this
Hell
day.
no.
To this day.
Hell no.
I will
And
always
guess
tell you
what? And guess what he's done? He's pioneered that into $100-something million contract and got dug his
But
ass
no,
out of here.
again, you can go blame. You want to put the blame? The blame game? The blame game is on Howie Roseman, who was a reason.
Howie Roseman,
Because Howie Roseman
was up in the
Howie
hotel
Roseman
chilling. You know what I'm
sat here,
saying?
and Howie Roseman
Yeah.
sat here and said, "I mortgaged the future for this quarterback. Now we have to sign him."
Right, because guess what? Because you know what? You got rid of Andy. Because listen, let's keep it real. The fans have the pulse of the front office. Let's keep it real.
Sure.
Okay? And after a while, it was like, come on, Andy. You got Andy. No.
It was time for Andy.
It was time. No, okay,
It was
that's
time for
fair.
Andy.
That's fair. So then you went to, Chip Kelly and Sam Bradford. Okay? And you thought that was going to be it. And you did
No,
all
nobody
that.
ever thought Sam Bradford was going to be the
No, you thought Chip Kelly was, and Chip Kelly was tired of Sam
he
Bradford.
was new.
And Chip Kelly was, he
He was a
got
new toy.
The new toy. Chip Kelly came in. You didn't really know he was in, but he came in on some Donald Trump shit. Got rid of all the black players and whatever. Now, come on, let's keep it real. Keep it real. We're gonna talk. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Got rid of all the black players. You know what I'm saying? And tore the whole Eagles down. Now here come Doug. Come in, a rescuer. He comes in. His system. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's loving it. Got Carson rolling. Carson, how you disrespect the teacher that helped you shine? He helped you shine. I mean, listen. Matter of fact, Coach, I salute you because listen, he's and let not even go there because I don't even know if you want everybody to know what you're working at. Okay, so but listen, you were teacher and student, right? Let's keep it real, right? Your teacher, Valori, you there, you know what I'm saying? You went out, had success, boom, boom, but you never forgot the teacher. Came back, okay, boom, boom, you know what I'm saying? So how Carson is so egotistical, so prima donna-ish that he gets lessons learned from Doug. Doug is there to help him make him great, and now all of a sudden, nah, get out of here. I'm doing my own thing.
Well, I think
Come
that,
on, man.
But here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, this is what the Eagles front office knew was going to happen all along. They knew it was going to happen all along. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm still surprised that it happened. I really am. But I think the organization knew it. Even before the Washington game, they said, Doug is safe. He's going to be back here next year. Of course they're going to say that because they're not going to say, he's done after this game. But they knew all along this is the plan. They knew all along. But look, at the end of the day, my whole thing is that the Eagles, if they're going to get better, there's so many holes that have to happen. They got to get filled, and this team has to go in a different direction. And it's going to start with Carson improving his game, big time. Carson has to step up. If he got what he wanted, and he was like, this is me or Doug, like I said, he better come back, play in that MVP form that we saw at Wallenheim. He better.
When was the last time you saw him play in that form?
When they were 5-7, he led them to the last 4 games, a 97 record. When he threw for 4,000 yards without a receiver, over 500 yards in a season, only quarterback to ever do that. So he has done it. We need him to get back to that.
Who they play that last 4 games?
I'd have to go back and look.
No, right. You know all that other shit, but you don't know that shit. Who they play? I want to know.
It doesn't matter who they play.
No, it does
No, it
matter.
doesn't matter who they
Listen,
play.
they playing bums now. Come on
No,
now.
it doesn't matter.
That does make a difference, though.
It doesn't matter.
It does make a difference.
It does not matter.
Let me ask you,
If
and
you had a
then what
guy-
was the receiving yards during the 2017? I see you throwing out, you spewing out numbers. So
Right.
numbers, let me tell you what numbers tell for me. Numbers tell me, yes, a certain period of time right now, okay? But I want to analyze before and after. So don't just give out numbers. What did he do in 2017? Did he have a lot
So
of?
you mean when he threw for 30 touchdowns and about 7 interceptions?
I want to know what I want
and was
to.
number 1 in the MVP
I
voting?
want to know what the receivers had. Did they have over 500 yards receiving, all that? I want to know all those numbers.
Correct, but that doesn't even validate your point.
No, I'm not. Well, I haven't made my
doesn't
point yet.
validate
I haven't
it.
made my point yet. But I need more information. See, it's
We'll
all
get it.
clarifying.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
Clarifying stuff.
We'll get it.
That's all.
We'll get it.
Right. See,
But
I don't
it
make my
doesn't-
point
it
right away.
doesn't-
I build my cases. You
But
know
it
what I'm
doesn't
saying?
matter because the thing is, okay, so we had receivers that may have had more yards, but what I'm saying is, you're trying to tell me when has he been an MVP? What does an MVP do? They make everybody around them better. And they bring a team to success when they don't necessarily have all the pieces in place.
You're saying that Carson Wentz
So what
has
I'm
been
saying,
an MVP.
so not now, but you wanted to know when he was, and I said just when they brought it, we're 5-7, and he was able to throw for 4,000 yards with no receiving core.
He missed
So-
4 games, right?
When?
That 2017 year.
Yeah, he was 11-3, so they were. It was the last.
3 games.
No.
3 games, right?
No,
No, it was 11,
2
3,
games.
14.
He got injured in week 15.
Oh, so he missed
So-
2 games.
Yeah, he missed 2 games. Then he
So
missed the
2
playoffs.
games, right? So 2 games, right?
Yeah,
What they judge MVP on?
majority of the season.
The season and the playoffs, or just the season?
Just the regular
Well,
season.
damn, you mean to tell me he missed 2 games and he wasn't named MVP?
No, because he wasn't.
Because of the 2 games.
Because he was on pace for it. No one's saying.
Damn, wait a minute, hold on, think about it. Just think about it for a second. I feel like my discernment meter is telling me that coach is seeing what I'm saying, but I might be wrong. I don't know. But wait a
I
minute.
think you're wrong.
Okay, all right, I may be wrong. Okay, that's
What's that?
okay.
What's
That's
that?
okay.
What's
That's
that?
okay. He missed 2 games out of a whole season. He should have been MVP. That's what everybody says. He should have
You
been
want to know
MVP.
why? You want to know why?
He should have been
Who was
MVP
it?
had
It
he
was
not.
Tom. It was Tom
So
fucking Brady.
Tom Brady.
if Brady's balling out playing in all 16 games, then
Okay, so
he's
that's
gonna
2
get
games.
it.
And you know, at that
Okay.
point, at the end of the
So 2
day,
games.
Tom Brady was still going to win because he's Tom Brady over Carson. At the
Yeah,
end of
but
the
if
day.
Carson
No, that's
plays
not-
those last 2 games, I think he has a good chance.
If
to
they
get
go
it.
13-3 and there's a
I
number
think
1
he has a
seed,
good shot to get it.
but I mean, look, at the end of the
Okay,
day,
so now I want to analyze Brady's
See,
last 2
see,
games.
now we got-
I want to analyze Brady's last 2 games and how he did. You know what I'm saying? What was their record? Well, you know what I'm saying? It's all types of little clarifying little
But you-
information.
Right,
you know what I'm
at the end
saying?
of the day-
But 2 games, he didn't. 2 games.
it was Tom Brady. It was Tom fucking Brady in his prime.
Yeah, he had one of his best.
Nothing
seasons ever.
in his prime. I think it might be the year that he threw for 50 touchdowns. So I mean, like you are. I mean, I'm not saying
Oh.
that.
But
You know,
all right. So wait a minute. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. See, you trip every time. You trip every time.
no, you just want to be right, but you're not right.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you my style.
I know what you're
Okay,
saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Because
Come
if
on.
he threw for 50 touchdowns,
Come
he would've
on.
won MVP anyway.
Come on!
I don't think
You know
it was
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Come on!
I don't think it was that. I think
In
I'm
2017, Tom Brady had a chokehold on the league, and people were enamored by him.
Then why are you sitting here saying all the time, if he didn't get injured, he would have been MVP? No, the hell he wouldn't have been.
No,
Right, there you go. You're catching it now.
Well, no, I'm
It's
not
catching it
You're
now.
wrong. You're wrong. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're wrong. But listen,
catching it now.
at the
It's
end
all
of the day, we can all agree on this. We still need Carson to be the old Carson. Because if he doesn't improve his game,
He gotta
the
go.
Eagles are going nowhere.
He gotta go. He
So
gotta go.
my thing is this: if this is Carson's make or break year, because they could cut ties with him, like I said, after this season and open up that salary cap space. And if Carson comes out next year and he struggles, let's say he's the starting quarterback, I give him about 3 games,
Well, he is the starting quarterback.
I-
He's the starting
he is.
quarterback. Without a doubt.
and I give him 3 games. And if he's not successful in those 3 games, I say, you know what,
Poor
Carson?
Jalen Hurts.
The plug.
Boy, I pride myself. I tell people all the time, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't nobody's Lee Harvey Oswald. I ain't nobody's Patsy. They done played my man Jalen Hurts like a Patsy, yo. Hey, like a Patsy, yo.
Well, we got a lot of entertainment tonight, though, from our conversation.
No, I'm just saying, man. They playing like a Patsy, man. No, because you know what? Listen, you know what? And I'll be honest with you. I'm a little fired up, man, because you know what? I'm telling you, listen, all the Carsoners out there, they happy as hell right now. You know what I'm saying? But wait till the season. Yo, the man was trying to tell you, like, yo, listen, 2017, yo, listen, I can tell you a bunch of people that have had good years that made you think, like, oh, shit. They about to be
Yeah,
like
but Kevin Cobb was 4-1. AJ Feely was 4-1.
I mean,
I'm just saying, there's plenty
and that transcends all sports. I mean, we talk about what's it, Pascal Siakam, right? He was about it's all that garbage. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget my son over there, Bismarck Biombo. Remember that? Oh man, he talked himself into $1 million deal. Bum. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Carson's a bum, yo. It's a bum. Listen, a bum.
Carson
has been.
Carson has struggled. I'm just glad you didn't say never was. I might have been flipping this.
No, he was good. 11-3. I'm saying, other than that, he was good, man. You know what I'm saying? But come on, other than that, who did the Eagles play the last? I gotta look it up myself. That's all right. I'm gonna say my own arguments. You know what I'm saying?
But no, I know that. But listen, I know that we are. I know we're up against the clock tonight.
Yeah.
We got the college football national championship game coming up, and but you know, Coach, I know you've been sitting here listening to Jay and I back and forth. What are your final thoughts on this situation?
You know what? I think I'm gonna look forward and to the new coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, whoever that may be. He's got a rough road ahead of him. I'm not sure they're, like we talked about earlier, they're gonna be able to bring somebody in with any experience. Because I'm not sure anybody like that's gonna want to take this job. And I think at the end of the day, I think Doug definitely had a part in himself leaving, meaning that he probably tried to say this is how I want things to go. Didn't go that way, and he was just tired of being, you know, having no power in the organization. So I think that's what kind of happened.
And I can see that point now. I mean, you know, now that I'm listening, whatever. Like, you know, I mean, because you know what threw me, the fact that he still got fired after he did the supreme company move. That was a company move.
And that's
that last game. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you still got fired, it's like, wow.
That's why I don't think this was part of the plan all along. I think it was Doug saying, you know what, this is how you guys are going to do things. I'm not getting my way at all.
And I think part of it too was also like, you know, he did what they asked him to do, would throw this game. Then he comes to the plate and a table today in this meeting with his plan on how to improve his team, and they scoff at it. And that's where anybody said, you know what? I've been your little robot. I've been your toy. Like, now I'm done. Like,
I mean,
I don't want to be here.
in fairness, and not to add some more to the dialogue because we're done. But I mean, like, okay, if I come to my boss with a plan, the boss gonna say either they agree or they disagree. And they disagree, then they're gonna give me some tips on what they think. So obviously it had to come down to Doug to be like, nah, you know what, nah, I don't see it that way, yo. I'm telling you, Carson's a problem. And they don't see it, and you know what, Laurie and Roseman, they probably was like, nah.
They don't, because they're Carson guys.
They're Carson guys. They're Carsoners.
You know, they absolutely are.
Carsoners. Well, you're a Carsoner. You know you're a Carsoner. It's all good.
At the end of the day, I'm going to roll with him. But I'm not, listen, it's got me a while to come to where I'm at. And I will tell you this next year.
But where are you at? You still a Carsoner.
The fact that he needs to step his game back up big time to be the starting quarterback of this team. Right now, like I've told you before, this going into next season, this needs to be an open quarterback competition and go from there.
I always want your friendship, man.
I don't know if I want your friendship right now.
You're a loyal guy, man.
Well, you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm gonna be a terrible friend for like 4 years, and you still gonna hold me down. That's what's up, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, yo.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Come on,
no,
man.
I mean, I think the biggest thing, like I said, the biggest thing to wrap this show up tonight, and we appreciate everyone watching and commenting, you know, is that the Eagles are going to see that unless they change what's around and how this organization functions from the top down, you're not going to see success. And Carson Wentz needs to be a much better quarterback if this team is going to succeed.
All right. My final point, and I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm a little fired up. But let me ask you a question. Did you feel that same way at the end of the 2016 season?
2016 season? About what?
before the Super Bowl. Just that the Eagles need to change from the top down. Howie Rose.
Well, no, because here's the thing, though, because the Eagles at the time they did make changes. At the time, we had to go find a franchise quarterback, which we thought we did. Everyone was excited when we traded up and got Carson Wentz. So,
And they had a better team overall.
yeah, I mean they had a better.
So the Howie Roseman narrative wasn't out there.
No, because here's the
in
thing.
2016.
No, the Howie Roseman narrative's been out here for a while.
That's what,
But the
that's
last
the
2 or
point.
3 years, it has picked up speed. The last 2 years, when they passed up, I mean, look, it can go all the way back to Brandon Graham. Until Brandon Graham strip sacks Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, everybody still will tell you Earl Thomas was the pick. Earl Thomas was the pick. So, I mean, it can go back for years. But the last couple of years, with some of the way that he's strapped them financially, re-signing guys that were way past their prime, Alshon Jeffrey, Jason Peters, and then, of course, with the drafting of Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside instead of DK Metcalf,
Yeah,
you know,
I
and,
give you that. Yeah,
you know,
I
so,
give you that.
you know, I'm just saying,
give you
that
that.
narrative has been there.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but, I mean, it's been a fantastic set. I just want to see what happens, and I want to see how this team moves forward. But, Marcus, any final comments?
No, I mean, I'm still shocked that this is all happening the way it is, and, it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Absolutely. Jay, as always, man, I enjoy our banter.
Yeah. I mean, can we have a special moment for Doug?
We can have a special moment for Doug.
Doug Peterson.
Just a moment of silence.
No. Okay. Damn, man. Oh, damn. Can I get my special acknowledgement? Like,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm lost for words right now.
Go ahead, because you're such a.
Doug,
he's near and dear to your heart.
Hey, Doug. Oh, listen. Let me tell you something. Doug Peterson. I just want to take the time out to thank you because you've done something for a lot of my friends. Matter of fact, me on the camera. Doug Peterson. I just want to take the time out to thank you for all the things that you've done for some of my friends, some of my dearest friends out there. You have provided them with the opportunity to be a Super Bowl champion. The faces that I've seen them make the day after that game coming into work. I mean, just talking with them on the phone. There were people crying in tears. You had kids crying in tears. They made this area a national holiday. And now they just got rid of you like you were just a piece of trash. Like you would use Christmas paper or the Christmas toys or whatever. It's terrible how they treated you. But listen, you're always going to be a good head Super Bowl coach, bro. Okay? Shout out to Doug Peterson.
Well, I mean, I know that so much of your emotion is based off of the happiness of Doug Peterson and the happiness of Philadelphia fans, and we appreciate you, Jay. But with that said, once again, thank you for tuning into the special edition of Let's Get It Live. And once again, we have all of our episodes on our Facebook page, on YouTube, Four Walls Foundation page. Go ahead, subscribe to that, like it, catch us every week. Be on the Facebook page. We're always don't miss the Coach's Corner coming up later this week, where Coach reviews the Sixers games upcoming. For Marcus Bullock, Jason Bryce, I'm Randy Duncan.